Hello, hello. I'm super excited to be here. It is Friday, the 15th of September. Yes, this is live. And Melissa is right off my shoulder. She's here. She will be in the chat. I hope that you are able to see us. We are using StreamYard and we don't use this all the time. So I'm hoping for a webinar, this is coming across okay. Let me know that you can hear me, that you can see me. We are going to be rocking rolling here in a second. Just want to make sure, Linda, I see you. I just saw you a couple minutes ago. So high five. Looks like I can see you. And again, I do see you here on this. This is a cool little function that StreamYard has now that you can embed on your own website, your own webinar, more or less. With its own chat, and you don't have to necessarily stream out onto Facebook, which is pretty cool. So that's just a little behind the scenes of the software that we're using, those of you that are live right now, because when it comes to the replay of this, I'm probably going to clip that piece off later on and make sure that this part here where we're just kind of getting everybody in and making sure everybody has things set up. The thing I don't know is, did you have to refresh the page? I'm just curious. Did you have to refresh the page, or did it just automatically come on live? Those of you that were already here. I put a little note earlier on because I wasn't too sure, like if people would show up and be like, I don't see or hear anything. When's this going to come live? But it's all of us testing new technology, doing different things. And I'm really excited about today's topic because we are going to dive in on AI for ad copy. And I'm really super excited. Linda, thank you for letting me know that it automatically happens. So yes, gotta love. I see Lynette. Yes, she had to click a button. Oh, thank you for that. Because at least you think about when you know these things, at least we can put some direction ahead of time on. And Roxy did not have to refresh the page, which is really cool to know, right? Because it's like, how many times have we all been on like for a live and we're like, where is it, what's going on? And oh, if we just refresh the page, that's when it would have started. So it's good to know that that just happened automatically. So if you're here, let me know where you're at, where you're from. Drop it in the chat, where you are in the world. Just a curiosity, if we have anybody that's up in the middle of the night. It'd be funny if all of us were just like US East Coast time. This is the convenient time. This is what we're doing our Friday afternoon. But we are going to be jamming in on AI for ad copy today. This is part of a continuation of our 5-day ads challenge. Not sure if you've been participating in it this past week or not. But what we did is we leaned in and we were like, you know what? If we don't talk about AI, it would be very tone deaf, you know. And this has been our 7th time doing the ads challenge. We've been having an incredible week. We have an incredible group of people. We have over 1,000 people that are coming in on the free side of it, and approximately 100 people coming through the VIP experience of it. So we've been having a lot of fun this week. But we just popped it in and just like announced it yesterday and today. So we weren't too sure how many people would be ever able 11th hour to make it today. So high five for those of you that are able to free up your time and join us in the AI for ad copy itself. So Melissa and I are very blessed that we leverage AI in a lot of different ways. We've been doing for several years now, but we definitely leaned in probably more than most in a lot of different aspects. So even just dealing with AI just specifically for ad copy itself is just one use case of where we can leverage and use AI. So I'm really excited to be here. And thank you so much, Paulette, for the kind words that you're enjoying the challenge. Those of you that are on the free part of the challenge, you have through the weekend, through Sunday night, to actually watch all the videos before we take those down. And those of you that are in the VIP, you're VIP for life. You get access to those videos indefinitely. Well, we serve them in a Facebook group. So as long as Mark Zuckerberg and his team doesn't start tearing down Facebook groups, you will have access to those videos. So what we're going to be doing today, and we don't do a lot of these webinars on StreamYard, so bear with me if I get any glitchy. Melissa and I are very real people. Hello, Debbie. Great to see you as well. High five for being here. And so what we're going to do today is we are going to be jamming on AI for ad copy. I'm super excited that you're able to make it today. And what I do know is AI has definitely, from a more visual standpoint, more public standpoint, has impacted our lives as business owners and marketers this past year specifically, and it will over the next several years. Now, AI has been around forever. We're not going to get into the history and all that stuff because you've probably sat through those things over and over again. We're going to dive right in and really go through some real contact usable things that you're going to be able to do today very specifically. And what we're going to do though, and I'm just warning you right now, is we are going to power learn. So we're going to hit you with a lot of information very quickly. We're not going to dive right into the prompts immediately. We will get to the prompts because I know that's why whenever any of us go into AI workshops or trainings, we just want the prompts. We just want the prompts, right? So we got you covered. But what it is we're going to cover a lot, because if you just go right to the prompts, you're going to miss like 99% of the context and the information that you need to do, because it's like a major league game. You have to do the preparation in advance before you go in on that game day, right? So we need to keep that in mind. So I'm going to go through a lot of information very quickly for you. We'll keep this moving along. It's going to feel a little bit like a fire hose. You probably will want to watch the replay as well and make sure that you get all the little things. But at the end of the day, what we're doing is we're trying to attract real people in the real world. We're trying to get them into our space. And the reality, though, is if you think about it, like we treat people like a number all the time. We're in, all these people that are in our world, like because of AI, because of technology, because the bar has been lowered over the last several years, post pandemic, like everybody got online, everybody became an entrepreneur. And the reality is like we are overwhelmed these days because doesn't it seem like to you, like everybody's like in our market, like every market is like oversaturated. Like say yes if you feel like your market is oversaturated, like you see other people that are in your marketplace and you're like, oh my goodness, I feel like everywhere I turn, this is like, where did all these people come from? Like, where did all these products and services come from? Right. And then I feel like when it came to AI, all of us kind of had this like split personality when it came to AI. It's like, oh, this is cool and we can leverage this. And it's like, holy crap, now like a whole bunch of people are going to come and enter my market as well, to be able to again leverage the same opportunity, right? The interesting for it's like less than like 2 or 3% of all of Facebook users are part of ChatGPT as an example. So you think like everybody and their mothers like has a ChatGPT, but it's like really out of 2 billion people, when you look at it, it's like 100 million. Sounds like an incredible amount of people that originally jumped in, and that's kind of feathered down after they launch. But it's like that really represents like a small fraction of a percentage of people. Then when you compare it to like 8 billion people on Earth, it's a fraction of 1% of people that have actually dived in. So really, the consumers are going to stay the consumers, and that's what I want you to keep in mind. That even though we're in this oversaturated market, we're able to leverage and do certain things with AI we couldn't do before. But the interesting thing is we have to take a step back before we get into the prompts. We have to understand is like we are sitting here building followers. We want followers, subscribers, we want likes, we want comments, we want people, email subscribers on our email list. And we kind of look at everybody homogeneously like, oh, they're just all followers. They're all people that subscribed on our email list or on our YouTube channel or TikToks, where they're just views and viewers and everything, right? You just see these little numbers, right? But the thing is, we really truly, in order to do marketing properly, we need to zoom in, because each and every one of us, when people, and how this feels, when you are marketed to and it's generic, and it's like that person, that marketer's trying to like cover all the bases for everybody in the entire world, it doesn't land with you, right? It doesn't connect with you. And the thing is, all of us had different backgrounds. We have different beliefs. We have different values. We're in different parts of the world. We have different habits. We have different, routines that we do on a daily basis. There's decisions that we make. We're even at different cycles of our life. There's different stages of our life that we're in right now, where maybe some decisions that we're making today were things that 5 years ago or 10 years ago, we would have swore we would have never made those decisions. Can I get an amen for that? Because I know that's going on in our lives. But it's something that you just need to realize. It's like we are all individuals. We are receiving information. That's the key I want you to think about. Even though you might be thinking you're pushing your information out to an audience, out to followers, out to this big crowd, at the end of the day, really, we are all, as consumers, we're receiving this information as an individual. And this is very important to know, because if you don't understand this, you're going to go into AI, you're going to do your copy in general, and you're going to just blast and kind of spread information all over the place, trying to like capture every single person in the world. And then what's going to end up happening is that ad copy is not going to land, because you're not speaking to anybody specifically that's going through the situation, going through the problem, going through the struggle that your solution fix. And that's what's really key, what's really important. So we need to understand though, and I know this, I've been doing, marketing training. I went right out of high school, right into real estate. And in the last 31 plus years, I've learned and I've been teaching in many different formats, real world marketing and then online marketing for all these years. But a lot of us are not marketing experts. And the interesting thing is, in knowing that, is if you go in not with that mindset, just tapping in and trying to get ChatGPT or whatever program you're using, like to extract all this goodness out, you're putting in some generic prompts that most likely every other person in your industry is putting in the exact same prompts that they got off of some free website. And we have to be more educated than that. We have to be smarter when it comes to asking ChatGPT or whatever services out there at the time. Like, we have to be smarter as the approach it is. Because even if you hired a professional copywriter, they would ask you questions, they would interview, they would get to know who you are, your product, your service. They would get to understand more so that they could language properly to the people you're really truly trying to attract. If you just go in and start asking, all these AIs, like, give me an ad, they're going to spit out something that sounds really cool and really witty, like better than what you could produce, or what I'm not a professional writer, so it's better than what I could produce, but it's something that it might not still land. It might be total junk, like garbage in, garbage out, right? Now, this is the fallacy. I think a lot of us, we get into this online marketing space, we go through somebody's course, membership program, whatever it is, and they make it seem like the marketing, they make it seem really easy. Just build it and they'll come. Remember Field of Dreams? Just build it and they'll come. It's like, oh, you do this little avatar work. This is really simple. My avatar is named Sally, and she, gets a coffee at Starbucks in the morning. She drives her little Lexus, and she goes to yoga and blah, 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 and all like that, right? And the interesting thing is, we learn all this information, then we start going out and spouting all this randomness into the marketplace. And then what ends up happening, this is what ends up happening. We build it and they will come, but really the reality is, like, there's empty seats in the stands, right? Like, we're talking to our friends, our family members. We had our 5 friends. We're like, hey, join my Facebook page, like and comment. And it's like, oh, they're being supportive and they join. And you have that 5 followers. But a lot of times we have the wrong people that are in our audience, that are in those stands, or the stands in equivalent, like our followers or likes or shares, our email subscribers, our YouTube subscribers, the people watching the TikToks, whatever it is. It's the wrong people sometimes, or it's just crickets, right? And you can feel me when it's crickets, right? It's like, you're doing all this energy, you did it, you built this thing, you did all this energy, all this work, you put it out into the world, and it's like, what the heck's going on? Like, it's embarrassing. It's like, I'm just speaking on my end, but it's just like, oh my goodness, we did all this energy and effort, and it's like crickets out there. It's like the tumbleweed in the old Western movies that just goes by in the vacant town, right? And that's very humbling, right? So that's exactly why today we decided to come out and create this free training for you, to kind of get you jump started, get you kick started on AI when it comes to ad copy itself. Now, we do other programs. We have a full-blown training called the Ads Challenge, and we've actually had tens of thousands of people through the years go through that. And it's something that we found the last day, on day 5, we talk about ad copy in our 5-day Ads Challenge. And that also made us realize, you know what? We need to take this out as its own training, because not everybody will go through our ads challenge. And what it is we wanted to do this training just so we can pull the curtain back and help you leverage. Because again, a lot of us are not marketing background. We don't have a marketing degree or marketing background. Now, again, just to reinforce who I am, this might be the first time that we're engaging with you. And it's like, why the heck am I listening to Paul? Like, what does this need to, this doesn't matter to me. Well, I've been a guest author and writer for entrepreneur.com. Previously, I talked about it a little bit, but I used to own an 8-office real estate company. I actually built it. I was an agent, as I told you earlier on, but I bought it in September 1997, half ownership. And in a year, that was the worst year of my business life, is because I had a business partner that was going the opposite direction as far as forward. And I bought him out in December 1998. And then from there, I grew it from one office, 16 agents. It was a 40-year-old company at the time. And I grew it to over, I'm sorry, 8 offices, not over, but exactly 8 offices, over 200 agents, 16 employees, doing almost a half a billion a year in transactions, over $8 million in income. If we were to fast forward to today, that would be worth well over $20 million in income a year. I went from very poor background to multimillionaire, lost everything in 2008 when the market crashed and found out that a family member stole over, well, it was close to $700,000 out of the company. And our company imploded right when the market was shifting anyway. And I went homeless for the second time in my life. And I had to rebuild myself. So in my entire lifetime, I built 3 $1 million plus revenue businesses in completely different industries, including the one that Melissa and I are sitting in right now. So, real world as well as online and offline. I just want to let you know, like, I spent hundreds of thousands of dollars a year at some points in a month of my own money in my lifetime. I spent millions upon millions upon millions of dollars in my lifetime in my businesses to attract clients. And I put my own money on the line. I put my own expertise, and I was very blessed. Back when I was 29, I was one of the 30 under 30 in the world with the National Association of Realtors. And I was ranked 83 in the world with Century 21 Corporation when it was at its peak, when it was the top company back in the 2000s, early 2000s. And here's the thing. At the end of the day, what I just shared with you, that's part of what you're going to put in your ad copy. I'm sharing with you social proof, credibility, authority, and those are things that are going to be part of what we're going to be talking about in a couple minutes. Because why would somebody tune in? Why would somebody listen to you? And I know you don't want to hear the whole hero story and to come back again, but I'm telling you, the new people that are in your world need to hear the people that have already been in your world. They respect where you've been, and you need to keep repeating it over and over and over again, indefinitely, because it's a connection point for you. So I'm sharing with you behind the scenes, like as I'm training and showing you through this, I also want to show you the magic of some of the inflowing elements that you want to bring in. So when it comes to traditional ad copy, a lot of us are not copywriters. I'm very blessed and thankful that over the years, Melissa, my wife, she was a professional writer. She's working on her third book to be published right now. And it's something that she used to do a lot of long form. And then through the years, we've invested heavily, hundreds of thousands of dollars in top masterminds, and some of them including copywriting masterminds. And she is an incredible, incredible copywriter. She writes all of our pages, all of our funnels, all of our emails. She actually designs all of them, does all of our automations and everything. Very blessed to have her. But a lot of us, we're not professional writers. We're not professional copywriters, right? We don't know what to do. Now, the challenge is what a lot of us do, though, from a traditional standpoint, not leveraging AI. We typically, the old way of how we've handled all this up until this point in time is we kind of like just spray and pray. We're just hoping, we're just like putting everything out there in the world, and we're hoping something is going to land on somebody within our marketplace. And we're just randomly putting all kinds of messages all over, just hoping that something is going to land. And the challenge is, like in this case, when we do all of that, like that is our consumer. They're like, who the heck is this person? Like, I don't even know which direction to go, with this person. This is a confused mind. Like a confused mind does not buy. And a lot of us, this is what we do in our ad copy. We are all over the place. And sometimes we do this in our social media. Sometimes we do this in our email sequences and other content that we put out in the world. And the challenge is we really don't want this in the future. And we can definitely leverage AI to make our process a lot more streamlined and more simple. So really, I want to shift your mindset, because this is, again, we don't want to do this anymore. We don't want to have these random messages all over the place, hoping that people are going to land. We're going to leverage and use AI to do market research. We're going to leverage and use AI, because if we don't start with the right information that we're working from, we're just randomly throwing like topics out, hoping, just hope. It's called hope marketing. Just cross your fingers, hope and pray that something is going to land. Now, the new way, definitely, we're going to all leverage AI, whether you love it or you're not. You're trying to avoid it. It's impacting all of our lives in ways that is invisible, as well as things that we can leverage and do intentionally. And the new way, I'm telling you, is taking people down a very specific road, like leveraging AI in your research, leveraging AI at every single point of your buyer's journey, so we can simply take people down that simple path So you can finally get the conversions you want. You can get not just email subscribers, you can get buyers. You can get people that are actually clients, like people that are actually purchasing, right? Not just people that are, coming in and being a follower, just coming in to like and subscribe. Like these people are actually being led with your messaging that is very congruent. And because we're not professional copywriters, we can leverage AI to at least get those first pieces going. And then we can go beyond that. Now, here's some of the elements. We talk about this all the time. This is not something that we made up. This is marketing 101. And you might see this trifecta, referenced a lot of different ways in the marketplace. But at the end of the day, this is a three-legged stool. This is something, if you are not converting people, if you're not attracting the right people into your world, if you're bringing people in and you have followers or you have subscribers, but they're not buying from you, it's most likely because one of these three legs of this three-legged stool is out of whack, is out of placement, right? So this happens, and understand, as a messaging, copywriting is the through line between all of these pieces, because the messaging, again, when we look at it, the right messaging will attract or detract the right or wrong people. Okay, think about that. The messaging that you put out is going to attract the right people, or it's going to accidentally attract the wrong people. So if you're off base and you put generic things out there, you're going to put little bunnies out there and little dogs and cats and stuff. You're going to get all kinds of people that are going to click on your ads or click on the things that you're doing, because they think like you're selling puppies or you're selling cats or whatever, and they're just like the viral posts and they're like, oh, that's funny, that's cute, right? But it maybe has nothing to do with your salon, has nothing to do with your course or your membership, has nothing to do with your coaching program. It was just a really cute little thing. So we have to be careful. Messaging, copy impacts everything. It's the most valuable asset in marketing and sales is your copy. Okay. So I don't want this to be light, because in the trifecta, what holds up as far as attracting the right audience or not, or having the right audience or not, the offer or not, is really, it comes down to that messaging. Because it's the messaging as far as pulling the right people in, and then it's the messaging of guiding the people, creating the relationship bucket where you're making deposits and deposits and deposits with people, and then when it comes to the offer itself. So let's think about this and break it down, because again, we need all these pieces to come together to work with us, right? And that fourth piece in this puzzle here is leveraging the AI to help us do all of this, right? So we're going to use AI. Now, I can't cover all the bases today, so we are going to talk about ad copy specifically here, but I do want to show you how that trifecta, how it impacts your ad copy itself, especially when we're leveraging and we're coming to AI. Okay. So, and another thing, just a warning, I just want to let you know, if you just leverage and use AI to do everything for you, unless you fed it some really good prompts and really good extra information, it is going to give you some generic hypey type information that might not necessarily, it might sound cool to you. It might sound like, wow, this is awesome. This is way better than what I would have done, but it still might not land the plane for you. It might not get the people that GPS to the destination. So just because it's cool sounding does not mean it's good copy. Okay. So we really still need to look at AI when we get that. We're looking, a good friend of ours, Mari, she calls it panning for the gold. And when we look at AI, it's really that first draft. It's that first cycle to say, hey, this gets me beyond the blank page, which a lot of writers get stuck on. They're just staring at it like for hours, like, I don't know where to start. And for a lot of us that are not writers at all, copywriters at all, this is really going to help us leverage the power of AI to at least get from the blank page into actually starting to work through a process. But I'm telling you, we need to still go back and we need to massage it, because if you put in some generic prompt about your industry, about your business, there's like probably 50,000 other people that are in the AIs that are your business as well, sticking in a similar prompt, and then the chat's going to push back a similar hypey type of message. So we need to make it smarter. We need to get better information in there. The more better input that we get, we're going to get better output. Okay. So, and again, that first draft that we're doing, that we get from AI, that's really seriously like the tip of the iceberg. Okay. It is not the entire iceberg. It's just the starting point. I really need you to think about that, because we're going to leverage AI when it comes to audience and offer and messaging. But I'm telling you, at the end of the day, still there's little nuances about you, about your business, about your offer, about your personality, your tone, and things like that. And the AI might not personally be trained on it. So we still need to go out and do real world research, pull in assets, pull in information, feed it into the AI so that it knows more about specifically about our, because if we ask it generic stuff, it'll give us great information, but it'll input back generic information. We need to be more specific on our end. But in the trifecta, let's think about it. So if we dive in, what are some things that I can help you out today, that'll help you with each of the trifecta, that we can go kind of below the surface. Now, in this training today, very openly, I can only go through so much, right? And there'll be more deeper opportunities I'll talk about at the end here. But what I want you to think about is when we dive in and we understand, when you're looking at that deeper part, the thing you have to keep in mind is it's taken us millions of years as human beings to evolve to where we are. So when you understand human behavior, things are actually pretty predictable. I know you think like it's not predictable, but us as humans, believe it or not, we are very predictable beings. So it comes down to human psychology. When you understand that marketing itself is not just random spaghetti on the wall all over the place, that we can go very specific, step by step, that not everybody woke up today like wanting to buy our thing, but we can go step by step, just like a recipe and baking a cake, right? We're going to go step by step. It has to have the right ingredients in the right order. We have to prepare it the right way, or we're not going to get the same result. If we have one thing that's out of order, if we have one thing we're trying to play with, it could potentially take the entire recipe off. It's kind of what we do when we cook, right? Is a little touch of this, a little touch of that for taste, right? But when you're working with a process, marketing is a process. Human psychology is a process. It is strategic. It is one step at a time that'll be able to get you a predictable result that's duplicatable over and over and over again. Because I'm telling you, in your industry right now, there are people that are successful. They don't know what you know. They don't have the background. They don't have the credentials. They don't have all the things that you have. But for some reason, their marketing is tight. Some reason they're connecting with their audience. For some reason, they're outproducing. They're getting the higher dollars. They're getting the volume of people. There are people in the marketplace that are buying your thing right now today as we're on this training. The thing is it's all about that process. It's about being strategic. If other people in the world are buying from competitors, that means you have the same opportunity to influence, to ethically guide people through your own marketing process to get the same type of result that you can duplicate and replicate over and over and over again. But a lot of people don't think about that. Now, the interesting thing, and in our ads challenge, we cover this a little bit more in detail. And in a full-blown opportunity I'll speak to you about in a few minutes, we cover this in a deep, deep dive, because you need to know and understand the buyer's journey. Not everybody woke up today wanting to buy your thing. They did not, less than a fraction of 1% of your audience woke up and needs your thing today. And they were like money waving, wanting to buy your opportunity. So what you have to understand, though, is a lot of us accidentally market to that hot prospect. And that's like a fraction of 1% of the people. And we are out there in the world with our ads, with our social media, with everything that we're doing. And we're screaming at the top of our lungs, buy your thing, buy your thing, buy your thing. And we're alienating like 99% of the people that we're communicating with. And that's where we have to be careful. And that's where we can leverage AI as well, is because when you understand that there's a buyer's journey, there's different levels of awareness that people go through in order to actually make a purchase, and that the mass majority of the people that you're going to gather in your world are not in a position of actually making a decision today, but they know somebody that probably is. So if you don't alienate the people that are the cold audience or the warm audience, they still can be incredible advocates for you. They can recommend and refer you to other people, friends, family members, coworkers, other people. You might even be here right now because somebody else recommended Melissa or I in your world, and that's how you came to be in our world, right? You just never know, right? So you have to be careful, because if you think about it, each of these stages, if somebody did not wake up today, the message, the ad that we put in front of people, whether we're using AI or not, like, we need to message differently to people that are at different stages. If you're only messaging to the person that is a hot audience that's ready, willing, and able to buy right now, you are always in the 11th hour state. You're always in the fire sale state. You're always in the make or break state. Like, oh my goodness, I need this person to buy right now. And if they don't, I'm going to be out of business. I'm going to be stressed. I'm not going to be able to pay my bills. We have to be careful about this. In this online marketing world, they call it funnels. For many, many years, it was called pipelines. Before that, we called it drip marketing. It's, how do I create a predisposed buyer? How do I create somebody that is going to like, know, and trust me before they need me, before they need the product or service? Now, everybody goes through this journey. All of us do. Sometimes that journey is very quick. You see an Instagram ad or a Facebook ad, and you're like, oh, This is something that the market alignment and everything, it's an impulse buy. Cool. I don't need a big funnel. I don't need an email sequence. I don't need lead magnets or freebies or going through a launch or anything like that. This thing is like perfect for me. I'm going to buy it right now. And that cycle is very, very quick, very short, right? And we experienced that in the real world. Like we had, you go into the mall to buy one thing, or you're in the food store and you buy something, and then you end up buying all those extra little things right at the checkout. You didn't need those things, but it was an impulse buy. They didn't need some big, huge advertisement to tell you. It was like, boom, it was there as an easy decision. You move on. This happens to all of us in the real world as well as online, like every day of the week, right? But the thing is that the mass majority of people that we're marketing to, that we're sending our ads to, that we're messaging to on a daily basis, they are not ready, willing, and able to purchase our thing. So even when we leverage AI, we need to understand these different phases. Now it goes a lot deeper, and we cover this in our ads challenge. But what I want you to know, though, is that each of these phases, there's different things that you would say to these people to get the right people to virtually raise their hand on ads. That way you can retarget them and you can bring them to the next step. That way, the right people you're talking to, like the buy my thing now type thing, and you're not talking to the masses. Now, if you think about it, you're going to have a big, huge audience initially that is unqualified. And then as you do your ad copy, and you're going to leverage AI to do this with different parts of that audience, it's like the screen, right? It's the screen that I'm in. It's like your barrel of people. And then when they socially signal, the right people do something to socially signal to raise their virtual hand, you'll have a secondary ad that you can leverage AI to write the copy for, that will guide that person, that warm body that is interested in what you talked about or said, or the action step that you had them take. And I'll advertise to like a bucket of people instead of like the big barrel of people. And now I'll just retarget the bucket of people that virtually raise their hand. And out of those people that are warm, then what you do is you do a different ad that'll actually guide people that'll make the purchase, that'll come in and do it, because those warm people will rate the right people will virtually raise their hand as well. And we can leverage AI when it comes to copy to be able to pull this off. So when we look at the right audience, and again, you see the key word I said there, because up until now we said audience, but you really need the right audience. So what we need to do is we need to leverage the market research we can do, and we need to pull people in on exactly how do we track the right audience. And that really comes down to messaging. So here is your first prompt that I wanted to give you for today. And all right, I got to come back on because I think it muted me. So I was trying to do that screen so you could do a screen grab of it. But here is one of your first prompts that I wanted to give you. Now these are entry level base prompts. We have things that we call power prompts that are a lot more involved. But for today's training, I wanted to help you. So when it comes to market research, we want to go out and scour the internet itself on our own to go very specific, because we might have a micro niche, or we serve a different part of the audience than like the broad portion of an audience. But what we can do, and this is the advantage that you can leverage when you go into the chats with the AI, is first element here you can see is act as a market researcher. So we're giving the role of the chat as far as what to do. And in this example prompt here, so this is a prompt that I want you to do. So go ahead and screen grab this. Excuse me. I'm going to drink some water while you get that. So in this example, what are 10 examples of problem statements? And again, in the parentheses, I want you to put who your ideal client is. So this is for you to identify like who that ideal client is. What problems that they face when problem you solve, in their words. Okay, so this is your opportunity to go in and plug in exactly like what type of problems, like how would they state it. Now the cool thing is, again, the AI has sourced basically the entire internet, so it already knows what people that you are trying to serve. It might be not exactly your product or service specifically, but there are people that are getting problems solved in different ways. So if we looked at health, some people might be eating better, some people might be taking supplements, some people might be getting medications, some people might be exercising. Like just so many different ways to solve that same problem, right? But they're most likely messaging that problem very specifically out in the world itself. Now you can do this manually on your own and go into communities, go into spaces that have your ideal client. But here's your way of kind of shortcutting it a little bit and leveraging AI in the market research phase, because again, it's all about that audience, right? So we want to know more about the audience itself. So, and as you see here, you can continue the prompt. by saying each example should be short and concise, starting with the words I need, I wish, I want. Because again, then they'll identify in their words the problem. Because here's the problem that happens a lot of times is us as experts, we know our thing really well. And we're like that guru that's on the mountain because we went through the years of experience. We got the training, we got the bruises and the scars from everything that we went through. So we have perspective. But a lot of times we forget how it was on the first day of that journey. We forget the position and the mindset and the limiting beliefs and all the other things and the perspective. Our languaging is different, our tonality is different, our point of view is different. Because when you're looking down the hill, you're looking down at the path that you already took. So you already have all those experiences. The person at the bottom of the hill that needs you is at the bottom of the hill. They have not walked that travel, they haven't traveled that path before, right? So they don't know those words, they don't know the experience, they don't have those hardships and the wisdom that you have. And a lot of times we have a disconnection between where we are versus where our people are. And in marketing, a lot of times they call it inside the bottle marketing. It's where you can't see the label on the outside, like what the consumer's seeing, because you're stuck on the inside of your thing and you're looking at it from the inside. And sometimes there's a disconnection there. So leverage and use this prompt to help you in the market research, which again will help you when it comes to the right audience itself. Now, here is a way for you to prep your AI, because what we see a lot of people do is they just go in and just put a generic first prompt, and they're not going to get the results that they want. So when you want to do this, this is the actual prompts themselves. So I'm going to give you some information to write some ads for me, right as you were a direct response copywriter for an ad. Now, just that phrase alone, you can do this in other spaces. Act as a direct response copywriter. That is very different than act like a copywriter. Okay, because a copywriter could be a multitude of different type of copywriters. Okay, there's a lot of different styles of copywriting that's out there, but a direct response copywriter, their job is to get the click, get the sale, get the call to action. Okay, so this is a little bit more direct style, and you may or may not like the result that you're going to get, but it's going to give you better action taking steps when you do this. Language should be simple and fifth grade comprehension level. So I want you to think about that. So the a lot of times when Melissa and I go in, like I see, she's mainly in ChatGPT is more than I am, but because she does all the copy and everything for our business. But when she goes in and leverages chat, we call it Chatty. When she goes in and leverages Chatty, she realizes like it throws a lot of sophisticated words, a lot of buzzwords, techno speak words a lot of time. So what we do is, this is just something I learned a long time ago as a national trainer for Century 21 Corporation, is the director of training there. He previously did all the training curriculum, created it all for the U.S. Army. And he came from there and came into Century 21 many years ago. And they had a stipulation that it had to be at fifth grade comprehension level for everybody to universally understand. So that's one of our leveraging points. There's different ways they can get to the same exact thing. But just by doing that, it's going to change the languaging, because sometimes when we give it certain inputs, it's going to give us that sophisticated, high college level, output. And it's going to sound really cool and razzle dazzle for us. And the thing is, it's not going to connect with the person that we're trying to achieve. Now, I should have put some spacing there, because the next piece there, right under that, is write in one line paragraphs. Oh my goodness, that like breaks every rule you learn in in college or school, right? That is not proper structure or grammar. Well, you know what this is going to help with? This is going to help pull people through the copy. If you look at, and I know it probably irritates some of you that are really hardcore on proper English and proper formatting, and grammar and everything. And I'm just going to let you know, at the end of the day, we're not writing a novel. We're writing to grab and then hold attention. We want to pull people purposely through the ad copy, right? So by saying to write it that way, it's going to then, ChatGPT is going to give you a different type of output. It's going to give you an output that is more along the lines of a copywriter that has the intention of getting you to pull through and to take an action, right? We're all busy these days. We don't read paragraphs and paragraphs and paragraphs and paragraphs. Some of us do, but most of us are skimmers, right? So just think of it that way. Now, we also want to insert a tonality to it. So as the example adjectives that we have here, sassy, fun, casual, like what type of, witty, what's your vibe? What are you about? Now, if you feed this in ahead of time to chatty, then that's cool. You can leverage, the tone that and the vibe that you have. But otherwise, play around with these because you'll get completely different results. Now, keep in mind, all of this, we have not fed it information. We are giving it instructions on how we want it to act. So this is prepping your AI. This is giving instructions before we actually input other information. This could be about your avatar. This could be about your sales page or anything that you can input after this. But it'll go. This will be like what it goes off of before it starts. So this is a pre-prompt in a way. So and we're asking it. The only question we're asking is, do you understand before I start giving you more information for each ad? So this is help preparing so we get a better ad. You see how powerful this can be for you? Hopefully that helps. So that's a little bit just a tip of the iceberg when it comes to a little bit market research and also pre-prepping. Definitely, there's a lot deeper prompts that we could be going into today, but I'm watching my time right now. I want to be conscious for you as well. So I want to keep moving on here. So then we have some examples when it comes to messaging. I'm going to say screen grab these because I'm going to go through these a little bit quicker than what you just did. But here's a few. Now, these aren't all the ways, but we just wanted to kind of give you some starting points here to help you with your AI ad copy. So here, this is like an intention grabbing style. So I need ad copy that will be catchy and attention grabbing headline to draw my ideal customer. So again, we want to put that when we have brackets, that's where we're going to fill in our information in there. And persuade, again, persuade is very important when it comes to copy. We want persuasive copy, them to take a desired action. Like, what do you want them to do? Do you want them to comment? Do you want them to share? Do you want them to like? Do you want them to, go, to a website URL? Like, what do you want them to do? And then we can describe the product and service as well. So I'm going to flash through a couple of these here. Humor. So again, these are just different vibes, different directions. And again, just looking for ad copy that will use humor and wit to connect with my ideal client. And you have the rest there. Go ahead and screen grab that one. So I got another one here. Let's see, clicking the button. There it is. Okay. So we have high ticket. So this is something, if you have a high ticket offer opportunity, there's a different approach, a different way that we're going to go in and talk about and again, this is just setting up the prompts for you, right? So the next one here is a storytelling. Now, we don't recommend using storytelling all the time when you're doing ad copy because a lot of us are grabbing people when they're scrolling. Okay, so if you're going to do a whole bunch of paragraphs and paragraphs and paragraphs about something, over 80% of people, I'm going to use Facebook ads as an example, over 80% of people do not click the see more on Facebook ads. So you got to be careful that if you're spending all that time, energy, and effort, creating a storytelling element here. And now keep in mind that ChatGPT will just make up a random story. So if you want, you need to give it context here and do a pre-prompt and give it context. If you actually do truly have it, like we would take a case study of ours, maybe copy and paste the case study, put it in as a pre-prompt, and then we would come in and we'd use this so that they would then pull from that story itself instead of, Chatty just making up a totally, basically a lie. We don't want to do that, right? While we do want to leverage storytelling because that's hypnotic selling, and we do want to bring people in, we don't want to be deceptive because again, Facebook or Chatty will just make up anything. So another type of ad you would do is like a proof style ad, a statistically driven ad. Again, Chatty has a habit of just sourcing random information and just making up statistics. They're the hallucinations that they say that it does. So if you want to do an ad that is a statistical version of an ad, this would be a great one to grab. But here's the thing: if you can give it the source information in the pre-prompt and have that information and have it sourced from that, instead of just making up stuff, gathering it from his own knowledge base, it would be way more effective and it'll allow you to streamline a lot better. And here's one that is your call to action. That is something that, taking people and getting them into that urgency FOMO, like they're going to miss out. This is typically coming when you have an open or a closed cart opportunity. This is very powerful, like bringing people into that decision making process. So this is a great one. Hopefully you got that one captured as well. So if you think about it, when it comes to your ad copy itself, we've covered some examples leveraging AI. I gave you a bunch of prompts there, in order to have a starting point for you And again, it comes down, you see that word that's in both of these, the right audience and the right messaging. If you just lean on AI just to give you generic information, you're going to have junk in, junk out. It's going to sound cool and tricky and everything. It's gonna like be really fluffy and hypey and everything, but it's not really going to land. It's going to sound like every other AI driven ad that's out there. We want to be very careful that we're not just putting fluff out there, that we actually have things that'll move the needle, that'll actually get people to take the action that you want them to take. And we can do that with our pre-prompting, with putting in the right information in advance. And I'm telling you, at the end of the day, a lot of our ads are going to work if we have the right offer, and then we can take that copy from our offer. It could be a sales page, it could be a lead magnet, it could be an opt-in, whatever it is, and we can use that copy that's on that page and pull it into our pre-prompt before we ask Chatty to do its thing. So don't just have it reinvent the wheel and go out into the internet and source information. You already have where you want to land people. You have a sales page, you have a landing page, you have a webinar page, you have an opt-in page, you have a lead magnet you want to get people to, you have a Facebook group you want to drive people to, whatever it is, whatever the call to action is. There's already copy that exists on that document. I'm hoping that there is, and I'm hoping that it's tight, and I'm hoping that it's good for you. But you want to source that information. You can bring that in as a pre-prompt into your ad or into Chatty, and then ask it for one of those ad formats, and it'll source the information that you just gave it, and it'll be incredibly much better. It'll be in tune about your actual offer, the next step, than just randomly sourcing the internet itself. So just keep that in mind. That's how you make this ultra smart. So at the end of the day, though, it is the trifecta. We talked about at the beginning that it's about the right audience, not just any audience. I'm coming back to it's the right audience with the right messaging and the right offer. Because in so many cases, we might have one or two of these in place. They're the right things, and then we put the wrong element right there. It's like we don't want to drop the ball. We don't want to drop the baton right before the finish line, right? So we have to be very conscious that all of this is symbiotic. It all works together. And that's where a lot of people mess up. We can use AI in each of these levels, not just the ad copy. We can use it in the market research. We can use it to help us to attract the audience. That information will help leverage AI to be smarter. So we're actually then asking it to pre-prompt so that we actually message properly. So we bridge and grab the right audience, but also we message them properly to go down from that cold audience to the warm audience and coming into the next step of actually buying our thing. And then when it comes to buying your thing, we can leverage AI as well to actually craft an incredible, irresistible, ultimate offer also. So the trick, though, is that we did a high-level view of AI today, and I know a lot of you want to go in deeper, like actually have me open up ChatGPT and go through different elements that we have, and that is really something that I know a lot of people do want to do, like workshopping, step by step, through the process itself, because we did some high level prompts today, but really I know where the goal is for a lot of people is like, what are the power prompts, Paul? Like, what, I can't say that 5 times fast, but what are the power prompts? Like, what are the ones that are more involved these days? We got the entry level ones, you source the internet, you get everything, but what are the ones that are truly going to help me with my market research, help me deep dive, make sure I can create a client profile, make sure that I can take that through any of the chats that I do, and I don't have to repeat it over and over again. Then I can then design an incredible, irresistible offer, leveraging it. And then from that, I can source and do properly formatted Facebook ads, Google ads, YouTube ads, no matter what the ad copy is, where it's all congruent. It's a congruent, there's a through line between all the steps, right? And that's the important thing, is to have all those. And that's why on our end, we've created not only one, but we actually have a couple opportunities. But when it comes to that, we have actually inputted this step by step, as well as the power prompts. We're going to help you every step of the way with that when it comes to Facebook ads. And that's why I'm really excited to be able to talk to you right now about our Facebook ads course. We call it Adaptive. We now have a inner circle that's named Adaptive. We have a marketing program. Both of those are 1-year programs, but we also have a Facebook ads course, and that's our flagship course, where not only we help you step by step to understand the buyer's journey each step of the way, but also we take you and we show you how to leverage AI, how to not just do the prompts, but also create the offer, and also how do you attract the right audience, because a lot of us are doing all that wrong. We're attracting the wrong people into our world right out the gate, and that's where a big struggle is. Now, a lot of us are not copywriters, we're not professional marketers, we don't have all this ourselves, and that's where I'm really excited. So I do want to talk to you a little bit now about the next steps of working together inside of the Adaptive Ads course. And are you okay? Those of you that are on, are you okay that I show you just a little behind the scenes of our opportunity, our offer that we have right now? Can I get at least one yes? And I'll go ahead and do that. Okay, awesome, awesome. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to switch over here, and I am going to pull up our current offer that we have, whether you've been through the ads challenge itself and or you're just meeting us right now through the AI for ad copy. This is your opportunity right now to come behind the scenes with us into our Facebook ads course, where not only are we going to help you and guide you on the audience, the offer, and the messaging, because that's the trifecta, and that's where a lot of people mess up. The entire course is actually built on those three pillars. And the last thing that we do is actually go into the ads platform, into the ads manager itself. But just very quickly, not going to go through all this in detail. I believe Melissa has put in the chat, or at least on the page that you're on right now, has a button for our offer. Now, we currently are in open cart right this second as we're doing this live, and we have fast action bonuses that are good if you do sign up and join us and the rest of us. These bonuses are valid if you come in right now, and we have 35 hours left, so that is tomorrow evening. So Friday, we're on Friday now, so Saturday evening you'll get the bonuses itself. Now, don't take our word for it. Again, I've been doing this for over 31 years. We've done this now. One of our more recent Pays You came in through our Facebook ads course. And after that, she came into our adaptive marketing program very transparently. Earlier this year, in January, she had her first six-figure launch she ever had. She's been in buying courses in the internet marketing space for the last several years. And finally, it all clicked with her. And she worked with, we have a team of experts behind the scenes. I'll explain that in a second. So you're not going to do this on your own. We're actually going to help you build out your offer, help you build out and make sure your messaging is aligned with your audience. So that way, not only on an ad basis, but also the congruency of your organic traffic is you're just going to amplify it with ads. But it's just the alignment is what people get messed up on a lot of times. Because again, they're acting a lot of times like you wake up every morning and people are like, oh, buy my thing. And it's like the mass majority of people in our world are not ready, willing, and able to buy our thing right now, right today. And we're going to take you through our exclusive program that's called the Marketer's Map, where we show you what to say, who to say it to, and what type of ad to put in front of people, so you do get the right people that are currently aligned. Since this quote, actually, Pays You has done another six-figure launch this year. So this is the most money that she's ever made, which we're really excited about that. We have Kay's case study as well. Noelle has had an incredible experience where she has been, for years, it took her 5 years, as you see here, to build a 900-person email list. And within 1 year of coming into Adaptive, she more than threefolded that email list. And then a year later of that, almost 5,000. She's well over 5,000 people now, because she's somebody that we talk to in our inner circle now. Again, can you see the path here? That we are just helping people so much. And this is what we want for you. Is in your business, how do you not only help people achieve their results, but then they become raving fans and they naturally want to work with you in higher levels as you go through. So this will go through the details of the course itself. We have the foundational module that breaks down and understanding, because it's like not what is your ad budget, it's like how much can we actually afford to invest to acquire a client. Because when you understand what that is, and we'll break it down, we have the systems, the templates, the processes for you, so you don't have to think about it. This is all about helping you get results quicker. We take you through the Marketer's Map. This is way more in detailed, and it's structured. So again, it's that process. Marketing is a process. What step, at what phase do you talk to, and what do you say next And there's so many influencing factors that are at your fingertips that you can use on a daily basis, but it's all about clear messaging to the right people at the right time. And then we go into the psychology, talking about the influencing factors. We go into the psychology of sales, looking at each stage, like what things can you do to help people ethically influence them into an informed buying decision, help them go to the next step. And then here, as you can see, the ad architect, we just covered like that snowflake on the top of that iceberg I was showing you earlier on. We're going to go and deep dive, and we're going to show you step by step exactly how to create the proper ad for each phase. That way you can determine where do you want to grab people. And that way you can pre-influence and guide people into that informed buying decision. This is going to be a total game changer. That's why we have so many people, even ourselves, like as when we've been referencing our ads challenge several times during this. And I'm telling you, like every time we do our ads challenge, like as the recording of this, we have done our ads challenge 7 times over 5 years as the recording of this. And we make a profit as we build our email list. So before anybody comes into our Facebook ad course, we make a profit on building our email list, right? So the current one that we're in right this second that is live, even though there's a recording right now, but as me recording this, we have over 1,000 people in less than a week and a half that have come into our email list that were not there before. And we grew our list by 1,000 people and we made money doing it. Okay. And that's because a process, a system, once it's tuned in, and we'll guide and help you tune in your system, it becomes replicatable, it becomes duplicatable, it becomes scalable, and you're able to put it into action at will. Then we'll go into details again, the trifecta. So as you can see here, we're talking here, even going deeper when it comes to Facebook ads and Instagram ads, like what is we doing when it comes to the audience? So it's not just about messaging, it's also about that alignment when it comes to the offer and to the audience itself. And then we go in, the last module we go in and like, how do we take all that market research, all the things that we do, we have everything prepared properly, what to say, who to say it to, when to say it. Then we create the ads, and then we test them and we tweak them, and then we perfect them, because there's no such thing as a perfect ad, especially right out the gate. So we need to have natural market feedback. And that's why in the program, we're going to help you with the live Zoom sessions. We're going to have weekly calls. Now we have 2 different calls during this. We have a call with me personally every week. And what we do on those live over 6 weeks, what we do is we will go through the module, each week will be module based. I'll take all those questions first. And then after I take those questions, we'll then open it up to open format. So wherever you are in your journey with Facebook ads, I'll be able to help you get unstuck, help you give feedback, help you get perspective. And again, it's not just about the ad, it's about the landing page or the sales page or the opt-in page, the idea of the lead magnet, the idea of the ad itself. It's so much more than just the ad copy. It's way more than that. Now, what we also have during this period also is we know that not everybody has their Facebook ads accounts set up perfectly. Like there are people that have made a spaghetti mess of their accounts. They have, tons of pixels, tons of ad accounts set up. Everything's just a mess. Everything's all over the place. And or you've never done it before. You never set up anything before, right? We have your back. One of our coaches in our 1-year programs that we have, our coaching programs, his name is James. He originally came into our world several years ago as a consumer, somebody that went through the adaptive Facebook ads course, and he loved it so much. Now he works for an agency full time, and this has changed his life, has changed his agency's world. They attract more clients now. They actually do our system inside of their agency. And the incredible thing is he ended up coming on board with us as a coach at a later time. And the beautiful thing with that is he understands the entire messaging map, the marketers map that we have. He understands the entire journey, and he also is there to help you get unstuck. So if you're jammed up when it comes to Facebook ads, when it comes to setting up your account, when it comes to like placing your pixel, he will be there every single week as well on what we call Fix It Fridays. Now we know at some point in time, everybody's going to have everything fixed. And then his calls turn over into direct strategy. He'll look at your ads account. You can pull it up, screen share on the Zoom. He'll go through and walk you through step by step and help you fix things, adjust things, place ads, help you with targeting. He'll give you feedback. He'll look at the testing elements and let you know like different type of hooks, like things to do. He'll help you through the entire process, because we know at some point everybody will get their stuff fixed throughout that. And we do have a private Facebook group as well. So there's 2 different ways you can access our Facebook ads course. Okay. You can do a one-off, and you'll see on the left column here, you can come in and you can make a one-time purchase and come into the fall 2023 version of the course right now. And that just starts off with a simple payment of $397 and then spaced out over 30 day increments. There's two other payments that you'll make of the same amount after that. Or you can save a little bit of money and come in at the $997 pay in full opportunity if that's for you. Now, we know some people that come in our world, and this is always a marketing trick because you should always guide people down that one offer. But both of these opportunities will land you into the Facebook ads course and all the support I've been talking about up until this point in time. But some of you want more support. Besides my once a week call and besides James coming in help, you would love to have more access to a bigger team, almost like a fractional CMO, like a fractional marketing department in at your call in a way. So we have our adapted marketing program. We know this isn't for everyone. This is a 1-year program, minimum 1 year. And what it is you have access to over 50 hours of Zoom calls, coaching calls every single month. So we have 11 coaches that we have on our staff. I'll just talk about a few of them real quick. We have 5 professional copywriters. Think about it. Every single day, Monday through Friday, you have the ability to jump on a coaching call, small group coaching. And what that is within that hour, we don't allow more than 100 people in our program, at any point in time. As of the recording of this, we have about, I believe it's 70 people that are in. So your likelihood is you're only gonna be on the call with 1 to like 5 people, and you'll have your questions answered. So they can look at your lead magnets, they can look at your landing page and give you a heads up on your ad copy. They can brainstorm with you. They can help you rearrange your copy, what you're working through. Now, beyond that, we have our 5 copywriters. We also have James and another digital, Verna, another digital marketing coach, and they're on multiple calls each week as well. And they can help you not only just with Facebook ads, but they work for agencies for a living. They can help you with SEO if that's important to you. They can help you with ad copy when it comes to Google ads, YouTube ads, and other ad platforms as well. And they have all the software and all the agency level access to things that a lot of us on the ground level don't have access to. Now, what we do know, though, is that beyond that, there are people that are also struggling with the tech side. You bought into this internet marketing world, and you might have a software thing like Kajabi or Entreport or Infusionsoft or MailChimp and Zapier, and you don't know how all these things connect. Excuse me, you could be overwhelmed and confused. Well, we have 2 tech coaches as well that can help you step by step through the process to be able to help connect all the dots, connect all the things for you. And again, this is you screen sharing. This is not just like a webinar where you're just talking. This is like I'm doing right now and educating on these things. What this is you're on a call, small group coaching. And I'll tell you, those calls are very rarely seen because once you have your problem fixed, you don't need to go on the tech call. But what it is if you're stuck or you're overwhelmed, you just don't know how to connect things or make things automated, even when it comes to AI and everything else, you'll be able to jump on these calls with the tech coaches. And they have several calls each week as well. You'll have the ability for them to help you implement to correct things. So you can screen share. They'll tell you what to click, what to do, and then you'll have your problems fixed. You'll have that big, huge block that might be in your business that's holding you back and paralyzing you. You'll be able to get that fixed. So if you have questions, I have a link here. You can click and you can book a Zoom call, and we'll talk to you on Zoom if you have questions about the offer and the opportunity. And this is my real phone number. People think I'm crazy, but this is my real phone number. I've had it for about 20 years now. You can text message me, and if you have any questions about the offer as well. And here are the fast action bonuses that you would be able to grab into. So if you make a decision by tomorrow night, you'll be able to come in the fast action bonus, and you don't have to be here live when we do stream this, but on Sunday, this weekend on Sunday, I'm going to go through and do a stream for you privately. And actually, it'll be a Zoom call. You'll be able to come on and ask questions as well. It won't be the stream like we have here right this second. But what you'll be able to do is come in and I'll teach you directly how to beat the iOS update. There's a lot of things, a lot of changes that have happened over the last couple of years. So even if you bought into a Facebook ads course from a couple of years ago, even a year earlier this year, so much has changed. There's so many new opportunities, and you might not be set up for success. We're going to show you the methods and things you need to do in order to beat the iOS updates that have happened. Now, on bonus 2 is on Monday. We have And again, if you can't make it live, it's okay. You'll get the recording of this. And even through once you watch the recording over the 6 weeks, if you had a question on something that we covered, you can just ask me questions on those Zoom calls that we'll be in, and or the Facebook group as well, because both James and I will be in the Facebook group for the course. And again, keep in mind, whether you come into an adaptive marketing program, which is the 1 year program, which has all the coaching, the support, and the hand holding, or if you come in directly through the course offer as a one-time payment or payment plan itself, you get access to a Facebook group and also access to the weekly calls as well as the course either offer that you make. But there is an exclusive Facebook group that's set up just for the course owners. But either offer that you take, you can get access into that, so you can ask us questions, throughout the week as well, not just on the live calls. I think that's very important that we state that. So, but with that second bonus is we did cover high level today as far as the AI is concerned. But wouldn't you like to have the power prompts? Wouldn't you like to have the meatier things, the actual downloads? Like here is the PDFs. Here's the copy and paste prompts that we have learned and utilized in our journeys, being in high level masterminds. We spend over 6 figures a year to be in the right rooms, and we've just had the fortunate opportunity to be in the right rooms where AI is like the conversation is way beyond anything that's talked actively in the open public. And we're going to leverage and we're going to give you AI prompts that you probably have never seen publicly anywhere, because they're basically gated behind like $15,000-$20,000 programs that are out there that will totally revolutionize and change the way. So we had the high level view today. That was the tip of the iceberg thing. We're going to go deeper dive and do that on Monday. And again, if you can't make it live, that's okay. You'll get the pack, the Power Prompts pack. We actually have even additional prompts in that's actually in our standard offer, but we actually have exclusive ones that are for this training specifically itself. And this is something I don't do publicly outside of, if you hired me one-to-one, the current moment in time, my rate over the last several years now has been $4,000 a month for private coaching, with a minimum of a 3-month investment. So it's a $12,000 investment. And each month for that 4,000, you get 2 1-hour calls with me. So this 30-minute call is very seriously like the number one thing I protect in my life is my time. And you have the opportunity coming in, getting this early bird bonus. If you make the decision before Saturday night, midnight, you will be able to schedule a 30-minute call with me anytime during the 6-week period to talk about anything that you want. If you want to jam on Facebook ads or marketing, or look at your business, or if you're having struggle hiring, people, like whatever it is, be able to leverage my 31 years experience of being my entire adult life. I've been an entrepreneur, which is very unique and different. So I have really good, just real world business experience to be able to manage very small companies, build them up to multi-million-dollar businesses. You have my time and attention exclusively during that 30 minutes to talk about anything that you want that'll help you move the needle or get unstuck in your business. So I'm not going to go through all the other bonuses that are throughout the page. You can click on the link and see everything there. I just want to at least cover those elements there. You'll see more people that are real people. Melissa and I are all about going deeper with fewer people. So this is not just another, let's bring thousands of people into an offer. We are estimating that about 20 to 30 people in general, just by knowing past numbers, will come into our world this week that will be able to help. So that means you're going to be seen. That means you're going to be heard. That means we're going to be able to help you make progress of whatever the next step is for you. This does not mean you're going to be in a program that has hundreds of people or thousands of people where you're like, oh my goodness, I just invested again. And what just happened? No, we're going to have direct conversations. We're going to help you with no matter where you are. And again, you're not competing against anybody else. You are at your own journey where you're at right now, whether it comes to AI or your business or marketing or sales or your presentation, whatever you're doing. Let us help you on your next right step, in a space that helps you make and move the needle, for you. And don't worry about everybody else. We'll have a great time and we'll have a great community that'll be there, but none of us are racing anybody else. This does not matter where anybody else is. It's us helping you make the next right steps for you and your business. So that is what I had today. I do want to turn it over. I'm going to ask Melissa, is there any questions that people had? I'm not an incredible great multitasker, so I had to go through that presentation, and I actually turned off temporarily the comments just so I could stay focused because I'm like a squirrel. I'm like, oh, okay, what everybody saying over there? But I just wanted to make sure I got all that in within the hour. Just went a little over what I was hoping for, but any questions that you have about what we covered today and or about the offer, I'd be more than happy to answer. Have we been okay so far? Okay, so Melissa's just off camera here helping out in the chat. Thank you for doing that. And I think we might be good. I know there's a slight hair of a delay when it comes to using StreamYard directly for this, but I think not as bad as when you just broadcast, into Facebook or something like that. There's like a huge 30-second to 1 minute delay. This just has a slight delay because it doesn't have to actually rebroadcast out anywhere. It just goes right through StreamYard as we're doing this live. So if you catch us, catch this on a replay, or you're going to watch it later on, I did set this up to be able to catch the replay. Feel free to reach out. You'll get all my contact information if you head over to adaptiveadscourse.com and or you'll see the button on this page. You should see it below but we're here to serve you. We're here to answer any questions, to be able to guide you. As you can see, we're not hypey. We're not saying you're going to 10x. We're not making these false promises, all the BS and all the things that aggravate and frustrate us all the time, and all the marketers speak in twists and turns. We want to help you actually move the needle. We want to help you make the next step that's right for you and your business, for the impact that you're trying to make yourself. And that's not a one size fits all solution all the time. So we had the course. We do have that offer. There's two ways that you can access the course between both of those choices. If you need help, if you need clarity, this is all about long-term relationships. We're not going to hard sell you in anything or convince you. If it's not a right fit, we're going to be very open and honest and tell you that it just doesn't make sense right now. We have a lot of incredible free resources for you, but we're looking for the right people, the people that want to make a decision, that want to enroll themselves and take the next step. Did you say there's a question? Okay, we have a question. So let me come over. Is that this one? Yep, fine. Okay. So in the program, how do you address infrastructure prior to running ads, email list funnels? Is that all expected to be set up already? No. So we, Ryan, we actually take everybody from the ground up. Let me get rid of that because I feel like it's choking me there. We take everybody from the ground up. Now, there's some people, you can see we have the tortoise and the hare as our background. We have some people that already have certain assets that are already built, and they're going to go a little bit faster, and they're going to get further ahead in their own journey, right? Because we're not comparing against anybody else. So we will help you build out these assets as we go through, and we'll be able to give you feedback. Now, of course, within the Facebook ads course itself, we can help you, through the pacing of our weekly calls and leveraging the Facebook group. That's just the frequency of that offer itself. Now, for any of you that come into the adaptive marketing program, the full-blown program, you still have access to the Facebook ads course. You can still go through those calls in that Facebook group with us, but you'll have also access to over 50 hours of coaching. And what I mean by that, it's not coaches coming on and doing a presentation like this. What I mean is it's like truly like an office hours where you come in and you're like, hey, this is so, you only have to introduce yourself once or twice. Then the team will get to know you, because again, it's a small, intimate community. We currently have about 70 members in there. We're not going to take more than 10 new people in, because they'll just throw everything out of whack very openly. But if you come in on that, there's calls 5 days a week. Now it's a buffet. You don't have to you're going to get overwhelmed if you try to eat the whole buffet. So if you come on any of the specific calls itself, you'll be able to that person will help you build out the next step of the thing that you're doing. So if it's more of a tech issue, like you don't know how to set up a page, and you have Ontraport, or you have ConvertKit, or you have MailChimp, whatever it is, if you haven't built these assets yet, then our team will help you make the next right step as far as building the assets. But if you already have all these things built, then we're going to meet you where you are. It's not a one size fits all. That's the cool thing about the intimacy of our programs, is what we do is we actually will figure exactly where you're at, assess, point you into, what direction we have assets for you to get off the ground. And then as you're building it, we'll check in and get feedback. We have other people on the team I didn't talk about that'll actually guide and help you on the next steps on a weekly basis as well. And thank you, Linda, that's on live right now, is contributing and giving some feedback on that as well. So you don't have to have all the things built. We will meet you if you do have the things built. We can help you optimize those things and test them and make sure that they're performing. Some people create lead magnets just out of the air. They're just like, oh, I have a general idea, I'm going to create a lead magnet, and it's like, oh, is that even something that people are interested in? And not all lead magnets, not all freebies, not all landing page are like what people wanted, right? So, and a lot of us are cursed with knowledge, and we're like, oh, we know people need this, so we're going to put it out. And it's like, sometimes it's like trying to give broccoli to kids in the cereal aisle at the store. It's like, it's just not going to happen. So we help guide and give feedback not only on existing assets that you have, but before you create the assets, going through the brainstorming process of like, what should you set up, what would be the better choice. Well, maybe try these two different ideas because they're very different, but we'll help you with the market research as well. We're getting really ninja with market research. I think it's one of our strongest elements as well, because when you really, because I want for all of us to think about it, when everything is lined up, when the messaging is lined up with the audience and that offer is like perfectly aligned, don't we all just sit there and like virtually like wave our virtual hands and like, take my money, stop talking, take my money, right? Like there's not a lot of heavy lifting in that moment because the alignments are all there. Well, that's exactly what you're going to do, because we're going to help you with the research to make sure you put the right pieces of bait, put the right type of things. So before you build something out and it's the wrong thing, sometimes when we have people come into our world and we do an analysis and help them through, we find out that everything looks beautiful, high end or whatever, like they spent all the money, but it's like the wrong piece of bait. It's the wrong thing to put into the marketplace. It's gathering the wrong type of people, or it's completely crickets. Like nobody's interested in it. So even if you're at earlier stages, we can help you with the brainstorming and the market research to know what is your client really interested in. Not what we want to just give them, but because we can guide them in the messaging, and we can guide them after they like, know, and trust you, because they'll believe you more and be more accepting to the thing that you want to offer. But it's like in the earlier stages, like, sometimes it's almost better not to have, certain assets built in advance, because then we can more properly brainstorm and do the market research along with you and say, oh, this, like you can see in the marketplace, this is what the conversation really is. Because what we're trying to do is we're trying to parrot back what people are already having going on, what they're thinking, what they're saying, what they're doing, what they're feeling. And we're giving them exactly, because then that's when it's like, oh my goodness, you're in my head. You got a camera in my house, because there's that alignment that is happening. So that's the cool thing about what we do, is that we meet you where you are. And that's why, if you think about it, like the number of people that we would have in max to the number of coaches that we have, that's like a 1-to-10 ratio. Like you can't even get that in a college environment. So it is very VIP. If you come into the program itself, it's a very VIP feeling. And we have somebody that'll onboard you, that'll take you through. And we have check-ins on Mondays and Fridays, if you're able to make it, that'll actually guide you step by step. It's an implementation coach, just to make sure you're focused, you're on track, you're achieving what you want. And if you need resources, where they're at, what calls that you should be on next, like we guide you. There's nothing like it in the marketplace. This is why we have such a high success rate, because we don't treat people like numbers. And what I would tell you very openly, this is just, since we're all here, a little bit extra. I built everything not based on the internet marketing world, because the entire internet marketing world is based on treating everybody like a number and creating a machine and churning through people and not caring, because the machine's always going, right? I base this on our end, is how I treated my real estate company. And I didn't just like teach at people, or just be generic and like teach at. What it was is we were partners, because we split it a commission. So my real estate agents went out into the world and they had to produce. So how we teach, how we train, how we support people is actually like truly transformation, like not just aspirational, but actually actual, like, make the progress, take the next step. And that we're very passionate about that, and we lead by example. That's, like I said, and I'm very thankful, because I didn't even know Carrie's on and Linda's on. We didn't ask any of our community to come on the call. So they just saw our promotions and what we're doing. And even though they're in our high level programs already, like they've come on and just said hello and everything. They have no benefit or inducement to say what they're saying, and that's what we want for your business, is to create such an incredible experience these days, because I think all of us have lowered the bar of our expectation for quality service, that when we go back and we go full circle, we create advocates. We create people that will go out into the world and almost be our promoter for us, because they themselves, love what you're doing so much that they want to share with others that are just like them, to be able to have the same experiences. And I think that's a customer service and exceeding expectations is almost a lost art these days. I think we're all caught up and, we tell our people, don't scale to fail. Like, don't look at everybody like a number, actually treat people like a human being. Actually have conversations. Don't think just because it's not scalable, it's not worth your time. And because everybody is worried about scale, 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 and going faster, quicker, and skipping steps and everything, they're the ones that typically struggle the longest, because they don't want to have a conversation with anybody because it's not scalable. But then they're like, oh, my email list is small. Oh, they're nobody's buying my thing. No, but they had all that time and they just did all the shiny object stuff that actually didn't move the needle. I'm telling you, when it comes down to it, it's really the fundamentals. It's understanding human psychology, understanding marketing, how it was, most of the stuff that is very effective was created well over a century ago when it comes to copywriting. It's all regurgitated these days. And it's just something, there are fundamentals that you can stick to right now that'll bring predictable results over and over and over again, versus going out and buying into shiny objects all the time. So in a way, if you don't have everything built right now, it's okay. We would have your back. Because that's like not having a bad golf swing already and having to be retrained in a way. But if you have assets built, that's okay as well. You're just a couple steps ahead, and it's like assessing, is it doing what you want it to do? Can it be amplified? Can it be tweaked out? Can it be tested? Is there certain things that we can do to make it perform even better? Just for us, even in the ads challenge, I talked about it in the ads challenge if you've gone through that. But we had our landing page that it was performing like 31%. So just less than like 1/3 of people, like 1 out of 3 people, like opted in originally. And I had a video of myself on there and explaining what the ads challenge was and like what we're going to go through. And it was a pretty dynamic video, and it was good copy and everything like that. And we know what the script and in the video sales letter copy. But the interesting thing was I did a test and we switched it to an image of me, and that performed just a little tweak better than the video. So apparently I didn't need to re-explain. The video just distracted people from just like opting in. And the interesting thing, and this is very humbling, when we did a split test and we eliminated my photo and we put a photo of 2 ladies, which was a stock photo, but looking at the screen because the eyeballs were looking, that means people will look at where the subjects were looking. And we had a screenshot on the screen in the stock image of the ads challenge itself. Suddenly 47%, just shy of half the people. So can you see how that dramatic, like just shifting a photo, that dramatic difference, like how that just took, eliminated about like 30 something percent of our ad spend to get the exact same result, right? These are the tweaks. These are the things that you can do as you're building things, because we all want to do the thing once and be perfect, right? And that's like us being a child or kid and getting into a bicycle for the first time, and just like in our head we think we're going to ride our bike just like everybody else the first time we ever get on it. But there's a reason why we do a tricycle first or a big wheel. There's a reason why we have the training wheels on first, because 99% of us are not ready to ride on that bicycle right at the gate. We're going to plump fall right down immediately and skin our knees. Now some of us need to do that. We're going to do that on our own. We're going to go through it over and over again. But at the same time, coming into the program with us, whether it's directly into the Facebook ads course and work with us for the next 6 weeks, or coming in the year program where we help you with all elements of your marketing. We're like your virtual marketing department. Either choice, you don't have to skin your knees alone. We are your helmet and your knee pads and your elbow pads. We are the Charmin that's shoved in. You remember those commercials? I might be dating myself. But we are your training wheels for you so you don't have to fall. Like, we have your back. We're going to hold you up and we're going to guide you every single step of the way, because that's what we do every single day of the week. That is our lives. We help people tighten up their messaging, their audience, and their offer. Again, it's all about having the right audience, the right messaging, the right offer, not just any audience, any messaging, any offer. There's a trifecta alignment that's there. So I do want to thank each and every one of you, and thank you for those that are part of our world that came on and joined us live today. Those of you that are watching replay, feel free to reach out if you have any questions. Again, if you know anybody that we can benefit yourself, you might not be ready, willing, and able. That's okay. We're going to be here for you when you are. But if this is the time that you're going to enroll in yourself, that you're gonna kind of lean in and push back all the limiting beliefs, like, I tried this before, I did something like this, it didn't work before, I'm not ready, I don't know. But if you're ready, say yes. If you're ready for a different outcome, we have your back. We're going to spend the next 6 weeks and or the next year, depending on which way that you come into our world, and you're going to be heard. You're going to be seen. We're going to have other eyes, professional eyes on your assets, on your things, not just Facebook ads, but your entire marketing process. And we're going to help you step by step, help you put all those three trifecta pieces together, make sure they're tested and tweaked out. And again, Melissa put the link, those of you that are live, those of you that are not, there should be a link below. But we love for you to join us on the inside. So thank you so much for the opportunity to be able to serve you today through the program, AI for Ad Copy training. I hope that you enjoyed it, and just very blessed and lucky to be here right now to be able to serve you. We don't take any time that we overlap and share together, because your time is just as valuable as our time, and it's the number one resource that we cannot renew. We can always make more money. We can always develop new opportunities in our life, in our world, but we cannot get our time back. So thank you for the honor to be able to serve you and to provide value to you. And if this is the right time, the right moment for you, I just want you to say yes to yourself and roll yourself into the commitment of a better, different outcome, a different future. Let us help you over the next 6 weeks or the next year create a different possibility for you. Join us on the inside, click the link, and we'll see you there. So until we talk again, you got some extra time right now. Go ahead and click the link and just get curious and take a look at our offer, because I believe if you're here already this long, it's the right message in front of the right audience, and we're giving you the right offer. I hope you have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon.